Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Well guys, the newest episode of The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 4, Here's Not Here, just finished airing on TV, and I'm basically here to kind of review / just talk about the episode. I'm very curious to know what you guys felt about this episode, because I have a feeling some fans are probably divided on how they felt about this episode, depending on if you're a fan of Morgan, because I'm going to get into spoilers, so obviously if you've not seen Here's Not Here, the newest episode of The Walking Dead, stay away. Okay, we good? Okay, so, this episode is solely based on Morgan. It sets in the present time of what's going on, but then it quickly flashes back to Morgan when he's going insane, going crazy. You remember in Season 3, when Rick runs into Morgan and he's losing his mind, he's lost everything, he's just not all there, and he's writing stuff on the walls. Well, this takes place after that, and he's essentially running around in the forest, kills two guys, not walkers, just two guys that are chasing him. We don't know the intent of why they're chasing him, but Morgan just kills them, just flat out. And then he runs into a house. There's a goat, which you find out later is named Tabitha, which is a character that you quickly grow fond of, even though the character is a goat. But I'm like, Tabitha, it's Tabitha, come on! And then you run into, essentially, Morgan's Yoda. That's what everyone's been referring to, and everyone's been saying it, so I'll just stick with what the popular thing is. The newest character you get introduced to, who basically, not imprisons Morgan, but essentially brings him into the house after Morgan tries to take the goat, essentially Eastman, is becoming, it's a very interesting character. I felt that Eastman was, at first, I'm like, okay, well, what is he going to do to Morgan? I mean, he obviously didn't kill Morgan. He just has him in a jail cell, essentially, in the house. But what is his angle? Because I'm wondering where they're going to be taking this, because I'm like, well, is he going to torture Morgan? Is he going to help him? And eventually, of course, he ends up helping Morgan, and he is, of course, Morgan's Yoda, and teaches him how to use the freaking staff to become a Jedi, essentially. So to use the staff and just to immobilize your enemies, not kill them, and that was the whole point. Every life is precious, essentially, and so that was a pretty cool angle. Now, the flip side of that, this is an episode that is slow, and I kind of got that feeling once Morgan's just sitting there and the guy just keeps on talking, and there's nothing really happening. It's just like, okay, he's cooking, he's giving food to Morgan. Nothing's really happening. So for me, I'm like, okay, so the first 3 episodes that we've gotten so far of Season 6 have been action-packed, intense, dramatic, and now we get to this episode, slow-paced. They completely switch it up. So for me, I like the switch, but at the same time, I'm really annoyed. Now, you might take this the wrong way, and that's fine. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Probably, I'm not the biggest Walking Dead fan, but I'm a pretty big fan of the show. And for me, once they basically showed Rick's in trouble and Glenn might be dead, I'm like, okay, so are we going to get any inclination of that? No, why would they? Why would they? Because they are smart. They knew once they show, especially Glenn's death, in quotes, and Rick being trapped in the RV with all these walkers coming out of the forest on one side, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. And then, of course, they're going to switch to something to be a backstory to Morgan for him to become clear-minded. He wants to clear. Now he's clear-minded and out to look for Rick at the very end of the flashback for the episode. And so they weren't going to give us any answers. I felt it and I knew it. They weren't going to give us anything. So for me, I'm a fan of the Morgan character, but this episode could have been told, or his backstory essentially, could have been told not in an entirety of an episode. Just saying. They could have did a couple of flashbacks in a particular episode that mainly focused on him, but not solely 100% a 90-minute episode. They could have did a regular 60-minute episode for episode 4, and we're focused on him because we're understanding that him and Carol's, their way of basically how they fought back against the wolves when they attacked in episode 2 have been so different. So they could have explored that a little bit and maybe show a little bit of Carol of why she felt this way. Maybe she's having these, dreams or something, and then Morgan's having flashbacks of what he went through and how he overcame his emotions and all the stuff that's going on in his head. But they didn't do that. So if you love Morgan, you love the character, then obviously I think you enjoyed this episode because you saw the transformation of Morgan throughout this episode. But if you're not a big fan of Morgan, or you're not a fan of Morgan, then you don't like the episode because that's all what it focused on. Now, before I end this video, what was really interesting is that the person he was telling this story to was the wolves, essentially, the wolf, I'm going to say because there's not plural, that was in the house at the end of episode 3, and basically was telling him the whole story, and the wolf just basically told him, like, look, if I get any better, I have to kill you, Morgan, and I have to kill everybody in here, including children. And then Morgan just walks out. I was live tweeting this show. I'm like, Morgan, kill him. He deserves to die. And Morgan just locks him up. This is not going to end well, people. So the way they teased it for next week's episode, episode 5, it basically, we're going to be in real time now, and we're going to be seeing that dynamic. So I'm assuming we're going to be seeing kind of the red shirts, as they've been called, from Alexandria, and seeing some main characters like Carl and all that. So we're going to be seeing some dynamic from the B team, essentially, since the A team is out trying to get walkers away from Alexandria. So it's all over the place. We'll find out. So what do you guys think of Season 6, Episode 4, Walking Dead, Here's Not Here? Did you like the episode? What did you like? What didn't you like? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Thank you guys for watching my review / just discussion about the episode. Peace out.